Hey, I'm Brent,
And I'm Laura.
and we're going to talk about marketing versus sales. Hey, welcome back. It's Brent.
And Laura.
Hey, we're here to talk about the eternal battle between marketing and sales and why you never do anything for us.
That hurts.
I bet. It's got to be tough.
I mean, marketing, hey, we're all about putting the lipstick on the pig here so you can sell the pig. And I'm talking like not an old major pig. I'm talking like Arthur from Green Acres.
Got it. So,
Or
old majors.
Babe or, Wilbur.
Sales is a what have you done for me lately game. So I would love to kind of dive into this a little bit. We can talk about a couple things to help us accomplish this. I think that, some of the things that I've really been struggling with marketing and understanding what you actually do is an assessment of what you do. I'm confused because I pick up the phone, I get somebody on the phone, I talk to somebody, I close a deal. What is it that you do again?
I do search engine optimization and content marketing.
Got it. Sounds complicated, but also, what do you do again?
It's a very strange science, marketing is.
Okay.
And you have to study what people want, what they're looking for on Google, on, trending topics. You have to, deploy content when it's relevant, and you have to constantly stay behind the curve because if you drop the ball on anything, you're done. You gotta wait until it's your turn again, and it's constant. It doesn't stop. It doesn't slow down. But you have to make it digestible and entertaining and educational in some ways, and so that people want to take it in.
Yeah, it sounds like a big black box and a lot of stuff I don't understand.
I mean, when you say big black box, is this what they find from the airplane after it crashes or before?
Definitely after the crash, always.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that I always find to be helpful is I have KPIs and things that measure me, and I typically dive into things like, reading materials that help me understand sales philosophies, and I do assessments, and when I start within sales organizations, I'm given this fancy test that tells me what my IQ is, which is very low. But mostly, I have ways to measure stuff in my ability. So what is it that you do to kind of help measure that black box that I don't know what you do?
Gosh, there's a lot of different ways. We have to make sure that clients are ranking for various keywords that they should be ranking for. Depends on if it's, like, say it's an article, did it reach a large audience? Was it shared? Was it engaged with? Were people commenting on it? Did it ruffle some feathers? Did it get people talking?
Yeah.
Was there an awareness about it? So, you have to figure out what you want to put out and what you want to get back.
Absolutely. Goals are important even on the sales side. So
you get commissions.
Right. I mean, I also didn't have to go to school for as long either, so it's a win-win for me.
And yet here I'm slaving over a master's degree.
I know, right? And all I had to do was open my mouth.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Okay. So talking a little bit about philosophies and understanding, I know that when I want to be philosophical, I pick up a sales book. What is it that you do?
Right now, in terms of books, I'm reading something called Narconomics, actually.
Really?
I'm learning about how to run a drug cartel from the perspective of an economist. So, quite interesting.
Wow.
And also books on strategy. One of my favorite books to read is actually The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
I love it. Yeah.
And you need a battle plan for everything that you do, and marketing requires planning and strategy.
It does, yeah.
So if you can look at everything as a business entity of its own or as a combatant of some kind.
Interesting word.
Creative. Okay. Yeah, people say that about me. She's difficult. Yeah, no kidding.
Right. And it's only been like 4 minutes so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Just wait. Wait till there's brown liquor present.
I know.
But, you just have to first know your enemy or know what you're talking about. Know the weaknesses, know the strengths, know what people like about it, what they don't like about something. So knowledge is power, as your generation had Schoolhouse Rock, right?
Yes. Are you saying I'm old?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I actually, when I started in sales, we used to have to do this move where you put the phone up to your ear, and then we have to do this move where you actually.
Are you sure it wasn't?
I didn't know that one, but it would have been with this just to speed it up a little bit. But yes, ancient times, by the way. But I consider myself old school meets new school. And getting back to the philosophy question a little bit, I love the emotional intelligence side of the sales aspects, and kind of that allows me to have a couple things, and that's some internal conversations where I can actually ask myself the tough questions like hopes versus reality. And I think that when we talk about marketing, there's a lot of hope and not a lot of reality. And with sales, it's pretty black and white, right? Like you either close the deal, you either made the call, you either did the email, you either did the research or you didn't. How do you do like a reality check on marketing?
So I'm going to take a page out from Mad Men here. So, if anyone ever wants to understand the job of a content marketer is watch Mad Men.
Okay.
Because yes, this takes place in the 60s, but it's OG content marketing.
Like
it. Advertising. Okay. And Don Draper goes, advertising is all about happiness.
It is.
And love is made up by guys like me to sell nylons. So generating that self-actualization, that warm, fuzzy, people want to feel good about things, or they want to feel like they're taking part in something, or that they are a part of a movement. So you get that, because what engages people is, it's different for everybody.
Right.
What makes you happy is different than what makes me happy, or things that I want to click on versus what you want to click on. I don't even want to know what your browser history looks like.
Totally, I don't either. I actually do erase it every couple hours just so I don't have to go back.
Now remember, incognito mode is still being tracked.
True, right?
There's a lawsuit for that now. So it's all about what your audience wants. And if your audience doesn't want to know about it, don't bother with it.
So what you're trying to say is empathy is key for you to put yourself in those others' shoes. Kinda
Absolutely.
Like what sales is, right?
Yeah.
We need to be empathetic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, but sales, it's just your plan of attack is different. You know where people need something.
Right.
And, you try to fulfill that unsatisfied need of whatever your prospective client might want.
Yeah.
We're already here with, here it is. We knew you wanted this.
I like it.
Because we studied a trend. We looked at the pattern. We knew that, around December, you would be needing, content about Christmas. Because, seasonality and all that good stuff.
So marketing is like the rising tide that lifts all boats.
Yeah.
I like it.
And marketing's fun, believe it or not.
Is it, though?
Yeah, in a really strange way. It is
Couldn't
fun.
tell from this experience, but I definitely understand. So talking a little bit more about like diving into our conversation, action points often help me in my sales cycle because I find like a lot of sales guys like to be really busy and talk really fast and pick up the phone and run around in circles and make sure that everybody knows how busy they are and how many meetings they had in that day.
And all sound like an auctioneer.
Right. So talking a little bit about busy versus productive, how do you turn down the noise to make sure that your marketing is more focused? Because I need more leads and you're not doing a good job.
Maybe you're calling the wrong people, son.
Oh, got
Maybe
it.
no one wants to talk to you. Or maybe they know you're a salesman and they've
Damn
had
it.
like hundreds of sales calls and they all sound the same.
So how are you going to do that and be productive on the marketing side? How can you help me lower my barriers so they know that my messaging and my conversation's right on point?
Know your enemy or prospective client in this regard, if we're not going to be talking about, the art of war. But, what speaks to a healthcare client is different than what speaks to a higher education client. So, doing a graphic design move on, well, this could be your advertising, compare it to what they have now. Expose their Achilles heel and shoot the arrow right into it.
I like it. Is that how's that go?
Shh,
Got it. Okay.
like that.
And then, like, lastly, kind of putting a bow on things, I'm an emotional mess.
I'm sorry.
Yes, all the time. On my shoulder, it leans. I cry often. I get upset. And then I get excited, and I go up and down all the time. I'm in sales,
I think
right?
we call that bipolar mania.
Yes, there is a pill for that. It comes in 12 ounces
Thought it was
in a brown
lithium.
bottle. Yes. But most importantly, I find it to be something that I have to focus on every day is my emotional management. In marketing, I feel like you could go chase a shiny object every 20 seconds. So how do you manage that emotional IQ to understand what you really need to focus on today?
Well, I'll harken back to an old job, and I would get so this brand that we had was this gritty backcountry outdoor hunting gear.
Got it.
And it was like the colors were all black and silver, and it was really edgy. So I would put on Metallica when I would write the copy for it. And marketing, and my boss loved it. It was great. And then with the softer things, like the ladies' apparel, I would put on,
you don't need to paint the mood for me, but that's okay.
It's mood management, if you will. But,
Yes.
I get in the mindset of things. Like I understand there's a lot of sensitive topics that
Totally.
I'll write about, or things that are funny. And so it's a weird, delicate dance, and sometimes you really just have to take time. It is not something that is done easily, just overnight. Sometimes it is if you are really in the zone and, no one's bothering you.
Right.
Or if it's something you just know a lot about and you really enjoy talking about it. If you don't, I can always tell when a writer is not interested in a certain subject. You do not hear any feeling or emotion in a lot of the content. It's just very matter of fact, if you will.
You've been talking to a lot of my ex-girlfriends? No emotion. I get it.
I mean,
Anyway.
when you stop dating mannequins and stop calling them your girlfriend, maybe you'll have better luck.
True.
Ladies, he's single. Can you believe that?
I know.
So, when it comes to, managing my emotions, I acknowledge the fact that, emotion is a big part of it. So I put a lot of myself in it.
I love it.
So, but I don't take things personally because it's not about me. It's about making a client happy. But, when you care enough about something, it shows.
I agree. I'm passionate about sales. Clearly, you're passionate about marketing. Someday we'll meet in the middle.
Are you always be closing?
Yes. And with that said,
We're closing.